Hello YouTube, welcome back to Genos Lair. Well, as usual, sometimes I start my videos with a little intro, and this is no different. This time the intro has a couple of things sparking it. Number one, I'd like to let you know that the video that you're getting ready to see of my Philly cheesesteak sandwich has been requested many times in the past, and I finally got around to making it, but it's wrought completely with technical difficulty, so I'm trying my best to edit this down where it's acceptable or can at least be a little bit viewable, so please excuse that. Number two, I would like to thank everybody who has recently subscribed to my channel, and please pass it on to your friends, and I really deeply appreciate that. I would also like to give a brief shout out to Mac Lawson over at America Sold Out and Slim Nims for helping me get a few new subscribers. I really do appreciate that. They're good people and been supporters for a long time. Well, anyway, without saying any further, let's just get on to the video here. Hello YouTube. How many of you had a long hard day at work or a long hard day period? Well, we're getting ready to make an old-time favorite for a lot of people. Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Now everybody loves a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, don't they? There are two classic Philly cheesesteaks. One was a restaurant in Philadelphia named Genos, and another one was called Pat's. Those are the two most popular Philly cheesesteak restaurants in the country. We're going to have a combination of the two on our Philly cheesesteak because this channel used to be called Cooking the Way Geno Likes It, and I'm Geno, and that's just how it is. So anyway, if you've had a long hard day, there's nothing better to do to solve a long hard day, especially before you cook, than to have a drink. Making the margarita take two. So anyway, after you've had a long hard day, or just any old thing that gets you all upset, or a hard day at work, or a hard day at the office, or a hard day anywhere, and you need something to relax before you start cooking, especially if you're going to make a cooking video like Geno, have yourself an ice cold margarita. You shake the hell out of it. Just shake it, shake it, shake it. If you're a little bit low on alcohol, like we are on the second take now, there's only one way to fix that, right? Here's how you fix that. So even the second take's not going to be a bad take, right? You just add more tequila and smile. Now, before we start making the Philly cheesesteak sandwich for you, we're going to let some of the day's stresses just drift away. Won't be long now. We'll be back to you in just a minute. Alright, for the Philly cheesesteak, you're going to need a few things. Well, the first things you're going to need is some sort of bun. Now, these are Philly cheesesteak rolls, which I see are a whole lot smaller than I'd really like them. So, I think next time, instead of doing this, I'm going to just go with the sub rolls. And then I can cut them and it'll be big. You want a real good Philly cheesesteak. I mean, you know, they charge $6 or $7 or $10 for a Philly cheesesteak, because you get a whole lot. These, I think I would go for the regular sub bun or hoagie bun or whatever you want to call it. The original Philly cheesesteak is made with ribeye steak. It has to be ribeye. Ribeye has a flavor like none of the other steaks. At the same time, you know, you got to remember there are lots of variations. Some people like green pepper on theirs. I don't. I like the original Philly cheesesteak with just onions on it, browned onions. And so other than that, some people go with provolone cheese. I don't like provolone cheese on mine. I like the Cheese Whiz, or, you know, they come in all flavors and different shapes and sizes. You know, different stores call it different things. Cheese dip, Cheese Whiz, whatever. Anyway, that's the next thing you're gonna need. But anyway, the first thing you start off doing is you're gonna brown some onion. So we're gonna add a little bit of oil to the pan. We're gonna chop up, or we're gonna slice onion. When you do that, you can actually cut them in half, and it won't actually detract from anything, but it'll make them brown quicker. So you put that in some oil on the frying pan, break them apart like that, and we'll let those brown. And we'll be back in a minute. Okay, these onions are starting to come up to a brown a little bit. And you want to get them nice and limp and a good little brown on all of them. Alright, we got this nice and browned and everything's limp and about ready to go on the sandwich. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch places here. We're going to take our cast iron skillet, which I have used in the past, and we're going to get that really nice and warm. We're going to put those onions aside. What we're going to do is we're going to toast the buns slightly on the bottom to caramelize them, like I've talked to you before about. So that's what we'll use to keep them nice and steamed and soft and ready to go, because we're cooking more than one Philly cheesesteak here. We're cooking for the whole family. So we're gonna show you making one Philly cheesesteak, but we have to have them all reserved for the rest of the family. I like to butter my buns. How many of you people like your damn buns buttered? Hey, nothing wrong with that. Anyway, I take any kind of margarine or butter or whatever, and I like to butter my rolls. So we're gonna put that aside. There's another little secret I like to do, and I don't tell people about this secret about making a Philly cheesesteak. Have you ever heard of bouillon? I like a bouillon cube. And I add that to the meat at the last minute while it's cooking to make it nice and moist and juicy. That's a little inside secret from Geno. So what I do is I take a beef bouillon cube, and I take like a coffee cup, and I put it in like 1 cup of water. Put 1 cube in 1 cup of water, and that adds a flavor to it that the steak doesn't have all alone. It has a steak flavor, but this is an extra kicked up added flavor. As you're layering the flavors of the Philly cheesesteak, it's just one extra layer of flavor to make it absolutely exquisite. Alright people, I just opened up these Philly cheesesteak buns and I'm absolutely shocked. This ain't right at all. This is absolutely friggin' crazy. These things are cut and separated. There's no damn Philly cheesesteak on the planet that has just one piece and one piece. I'm absolutely pissed off. Whatever you do, cut your own bun. Please, cut your own bun. Don't buy these things here. Don't buy any Philly cheesesteak bun that's a 2-part bun. But as pissed as I am, we gotta make do with what we got, because I didn't know. The wife didn't know when she got them. Nobody knew it was gonna be this except the damn factory. I don't like this. This is not the way it's supposed to be. So here's what we're gonna do to make do. We're gonna take a little bit of margarine or butter or whatever. Just lightly go across the bun so that we can put a nice little brown on it and caramelize it. Actually, it's going to do more than caramelize it. It's going to give it a little flavor to it. So we do that. We put it over here on the hot griddle. Okay? We're going to push it down in the middle to give it an even brown and hope we don't burn ourselves in the process. Everything else has gone wrong today, so what the hell else could go wrong that we wouldn't expect? We expect everything to go wrong on this video. Alright, as luck would have it. Okay, what we have done here is we have browned the buns. Maybe a little bit overly, but that's okay. We're not going to let this ruin the day. A little tequila will fix it all, right? We already had that, so we just relax and make do with what we got. Like I told you before, caramelize the buns and reserve them in the steam tray. So we're going to put them in here, and we're going to go to the next one. So, all right, here's one thing you got to do. When you use real ribeye, what I would suggest is you get it from the store and you have them slice it paper thin. Otherwise, you're going to end up slicing it paper thin with a knife, or you're going to do what I like to do. If I don't have enough time in advance to know what I'm going to do, I will literally take, now this works absolutely wonderful. I'll take plastic wrap and I'll draw off a piece a couple of feet wide, or a couple of feet long rather, and I'll put it over here on my cutting board. Or you don't have to if you don't want to. It's like if you like cutting or cleaning your cutting board a lot. And then what I'll do is I'll take this old ribeye steak, boneless ribeye, and I'll take it. And when I'm getting ready to do this, I will cut the steak to a certain thickness, and then I'll pound it out with my meat mallet. And I'll make it paper thin. It's a whole lot easier if you have the butcher cut it. Or something else you can do is you can cut it yourself, but you have to freeze it slightly so that it's lightly frozen throughout. And then you can slice it as thin as you want. The main thing in making the Philly cheesesteak sandwich is that the meat is cut when it's paper thin, because you only want it on the frying pan or the cooker just for a few seconds or a minute. You really don't want to overcook it. It's going to take no time at all really to cook. Make it really paper thin. And if your ribeye has the right amount of fat in it and everything, it won't take long to do that. But you want it paper thin. Now, like I said before, this was a little secret I actually gave you about beating your meat, okay? You beat it really thin, okay? They don't tell you that. All the recipes say have the butcher cut it really thin. That's the perfect way to do it. But if you have to improvise, put it between the plastic and beat it really thin so that it cooks really thin and quickly, and then it doesn't take so long to do. We're just going to use the skillet that we actually browned the buns on. That's what we're going to do. We're going to bring it up to a nice little sizzle. There we go. Now, we're going to let that go for a second. We're going to turn it over, and we'll be back. Okay, as you see, we're just browning it, and it doesn't take long. Just a few seconds on there. I'm going to pull it up with the tongs, turn it over. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set it aside on a nice little plate and reserve it while we're reserving the buns back here. And it'll be ready to go all at one time. Alright, and as you'll see down here, we've done a whole bunch of the meat. Ribeye steak, we've cooked it nice and good. It should be about like that. It's fairly thin and it's about ready to go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this cheesesteak, or well, the steak, the ribeye steak, we're going to put it back on our griddle here with the meat juice that it has. We're going to take the bouillon cube We're going to drizzle bouillon flavor all over that meat. Okay? This is going to add extra flavor to that meat because we didn't really season that meat, did we? So here's what we do. Just put some of that nice bouillon flavor on there. And this really makes a difference, okay? And like I said before, the name of the channel used to be Cooking the Way Geno Likes It, and this is the way Geno likes it. So now we just kind of turn this and get it all incorporated. Get that nice bouillon flavor incorporated in the meat. Not for too long, we don't want to overcook it. We just want to kiss every little piece. We just want to infuse the flavor in every little morsel. Then we can take it back off. Just after a minute or so, we take it back off. We know the meat's thoroughly cooked and it's fully infused with that extra flavor. So on top of having the regular ribeye steak flavor, which is full of flavor anyway, you can have a little added flavor. And we can turn the fire off of the stove. Okay, now one thing we did while you weren't looking was we heated up cheese dip. So we're going to take some steak. Well, first, we're going to incorporate one other thing, like I showed you a minute ago. On top of infusing the meat with flavor, we're going to drizzle a little bit, just a little over the bun. Okay, just a few drops. Then we are going to put the onions on there, the browned onions. I'm going to reach in here and get a nice helping of brown onions and put that all the way across. And since this bun is cut in half, we have to be really careful. We can't really control it. So you got to excuse me for that. I did not know that these were cut all the way in two, or they would not have been purchased. So you do that. Put as much onions or as little onions as you like. Then you put your cheese dip on top. That's very important. And once again, you put how much you like. Just, you know, I'm going to do it how I like, because it's the way I like it here. But this is just a general way on how to do it. But you want to incorporate enough cheese that you get the cheesy flavor to your liking, okay? So you put that on there. Most people like a lot of the cheese. You put your toasted bun on the top. Now, take a look at that. Genos Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Okay, folks, that's it. That's how you make my cheesesteak sandwich. Now, there are a lot of other different ways, and I'm not saying mine's the right way or the only way. This is just the way Geno likes it. But one thing I can promise you, it is damn good. So whenever you have a chance and you have a little money to buy some extra ribeye and some buns and some onions, which everybody has, a bouillon cube, make a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Your palate and your stomach will love you for it. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button and comment. Tell me what else you want to see, what kind of recipes I might have that you would like to see. Because without you, I can't continue this. So thank you very much and see you next video.